Hi, everybody. I don't see too many familiar faces, but my name is Dr. Bella Florenthal. I'm a marketing professor. I teach marketing management course. Anybody took marketing management with me?
Oh, you're not talking about it.
Okay. My students. Okay, I see what my students. Okay. I'm also the president of Beta Gamma Sigma William Patterson University chapter. And our organization co-sponsored this event. That's why I'm here to talk a little bit shortly about Beta Gamma Sigma. And the first thing I want to ask is any of you a member of Beta Gamma Sigma? Please raise your hand. Anybody is a member of Beta Gamma Sigma here? No. Okay. Okay, so I want to talk about what is Beta Gamma Sigma is not, because sometimes people hear that and they associate it with a different thing that we are not, we don't want them to do that. One of them is it's not a sorority and it's not a fraternity organization. It's not also a club. Beta Gamma Sigma, it's an honor society, and it is only it can be established as a chapter for ASCSB accredited business schools, which is the highest accreditation a business school can get. So this is an honor society, is well recognized by many businesses, and top 10% of students, based on their GPA and number of credits, are invited to be members. So you cannot become a member on your own. The school needs to invite you, and then you can agree to become a member. It's a lifetime membership. It's not rolling over. So once you are invited, it doesn't mean that you are always can get back and become a member. It's one-time fee, and you are a member for life. Why am I talking about this a little bit more in details? This semester in April, we are going to have an induction ceremony and dinner. We already started to send packets and invitation emails and letters to students that are eligible. Okay, if you have your GPA 10% of your cohort, which means either seniors or juniors, 75 credits or higher, you probably will get in mail a packet from us and also an email invitation. Another thing we are going to do in March is an event which is PE, and that will be information session, and also I'll discuss more the LinkedIn usage and another thing in addition to the information. What I want to also say is this. I think that it's a great opportunity to be a member. So if you do get an invitation, I really, really encourage you to join. Okay? If you have any questions, you can contact me. I put here on the table some information and some things that we are also giving. For example, we have that this is a certificate you get a pin, and also you can get an honor stole that you can use for graduation when you go to the final graduation ceremony. Also, we have a great website that has all the things we are doing. We have leadership forum, sending students for leadership forums and so forth. So there are a lot of things that we are doing at Beta Gamma Sigma organization chapter. And any questions or anything that anybody wants to ask quickly? You're good? Okay, as I said, after the event, you can contact me or take some of the material for you to look into. Another thing I want to do today, we have also students volunteer for the Beta Gamma Sigma chapter. We have now 2 students here from the 4 that we have. We have 4 students, vice presidents. Chris, can you come forward for a second? Chris and Michelle. Michelle? They did a great job trying to promote this event. They work on all the other activities that relate to Beta Gamma Sigma. And because they are doing such a great job, we will give them a small gift. And Mary Alice will be the one that can give you the gift, small gift for your hard work. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, and now I would like to give the podium to Jennifer Santiago from Enterprise.
Thank you, Bella. Can everybody hear me? Okay? Okay. First of all, welcome and thank you for coming today. I'm really excited about the presentation. I see some familiar faces. I've been on campus before doing some other events, more specifically and most recently with the Raspberry Institute. Are there any members or any sales majors or members of the sales club here? Raise your hands high. Hi, everybody. Good to see you again. Again, I just want to thank Bella and the rest of the planning committee, Mary Alice, who's out front collecting, who's been collecting the resumes and doing the sign-in sheet. We wanted an opportunity to get in front of as many students as possible to talk about something very important and essential for your career searching and really throughout your whole career for success, and that's the topic of networking. So we're going to be covering that today. Okay, so again, thank you for having me. We're going to go through. So what do you think when you sit through a PowerPoint and someone's about to do a presentation, what do you think I'm going to ask you to do right now with your phones? What was that? Nope. Keep them on. Who has a Twitter account? Raise your hand. All right, those people can keep their phones on. Specifically, when it comes to networking, let's not deny the fact that there is a lot of opportunity virtually, especially in the Twitter world. So we're going to go through, and while you're in your seat, feel free to tweet. This is my handle. I'm at Jen Santiago 24. I'm not annoying on Twitter. I'll maybe tweet once a day. I'll post some cool articles about professional development, maybe a silly picture of my kid or what have you, but that's my handle if you want to follow me. A lot of it is very professional, and I do my best to try to give some good advice to my followers. The event today, hashtag PE Networks. So this is going to be a good opportunity as a reference to go back to anybody that tweets a good piece of advice or a quick tip that we talk about today, hashtag PE Networks. And then finally, our company is at ERAC Careers. ERAC is Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Okay? So for those of you that have a Twitter account and plan on utilizing it, there's also an incentive for you as well. Who can tell me really quick why they came today? Why are you here today? It was required. Honest, I love it. Why are you here today?
Why did we network every day as individuals? There's always room for improvement.
Very good. Who else can tell me? How did they hear about it today? How did somebody find out about the opportunity? Did somebody come into your class? Yes.
My esteemed professor had told us in the class to come to.
Thank you, esteemed professor. There are some incentives for those of you that came today. We have 3 different ways to win some prizes. The first one is our Twitter contest. So those of you with those Twitter accounts, actively use them throughout the next 45 minutes because you could win a prize. We have 3 different prizes. A $250 gift certificate for a professional suit and 2 more $200 gift certificates for professional suits. This is essential and this is an investment in your career. Suits are not cheap. I'm sure you'd rather spend your money on something else. So here's an opportunity to invest in your career. These are the prizes that we have today. So the one is the Twitter contest. Chris, our member of BGS, is going to be tracking the tweets. And whoever posts the most comments or tips and utilizes my handle and PE Networks the most is going to win for the Twitter contest. So this is time sensitive. We're going to announce a winner at the end of the presentation today. The next one is a resume raffle. Did everybody bring a resume? Okay. Those of you that brought a resume, nice job. You are now eligible for one of those prizes. What's going to happen throughout the presentation is Mary Alice and my colleague Dana are going to be going through your resumes, and then the ones that qualify, and I'll tell you how we do that at the end, will win our resume raffle. We're going to pick a resume at random. Okay? Finally, the most fun way to win is our participation raffle. As you can see, I brought a team of managers with me. They have little bags with raffle tickets in them. This is an interactive presentation. It's not just going to be me preaching to you and reading PowerPoint slides. I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be asking for your feedback. Anytime you volunteer and raise your hand and say something, one of the members of my team is going to come up and give you a raffle ticket. At the very end, we're going to pull that ticket, and there's our third prize. Sound fun? We ready? Okay. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to the rest of my team. These are specific members that I chose for reasons. They're all members of our management team. I want to first introduce Dana Havey, who is our Human Resources Manager. She oversees, alongside with me, the Northern New Jersey territory. We're all part of what's called the Northern New Jersey territory with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. To give you a quick background on us as well, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, you may just know us as that car rental company, or we're the company that picks you up. We're more than that. It provides a great opportunity to learn how to run a business. We have a fantastic paid internship program. We have our management training program. I'll touch on that towards the end. But we're all part of the Northern New Jersey Region's management team. I oversee the hiring and staffing, and I have a lot of activity on college campuses for recruitment. And then once I hire them, then your next resource is Dana, who's our Human Resources Manager.
Hi everyone, my name's Dana Havey, and as Jen said, I work very closely with her at Enterprise. So where she is our Talent Acquisition Manger, I am the Human Resources Manager for Northern New Jersey. And I just wanted to take a moment to explain to all of you why these managers are here with us today. So they're each going to have an opportunity to introduce themselves, but before they do that, I just wanted to recognize them because they are a few of our top performing managers in our region right now. And as such, we have given them the additional responsibility of helping myself and Jennifer with some of our company's diversity and inclusion initiatives. So some of the things that we ask for their assistance with is with the recruitment, the promotional process, and the retention, as well as the onboarding of a diverse workforce. So we ask them to help us with recruiting diverse employees to come and work with us, onboarding them, teaching them how to network so they can be successful in their careers, and then getting them promoted into higher levels of management, such as themselves. So to prepare them for those additional responsibilities, we have given them exposure to some additional training. So they have gone through powerful presentation and public speaking training. They have gone through our formal mentoring program, or at least mentor training. They have gone through resiliency training, and not only have they gone through a similar presentation, the art of effective networking, but they have then taught that to their peers. So during, I believe, lunch after the presentation today, you'll have an opportunity to network more with them as well as myself and Jen, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to them not just about their careers, but the additional training that they have received and these additional responsibilities. So again, they have been asked to come here today with us because they are our top performing managers and because they have done an absolutely fantastic job helping us with these initiatives. So I'm going to allow them now to introduce themselves to you.
We'll start with Benny Mejia. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Ben Mejia. I've been working for Enterprise for a year and a half. I'm currently the assistant manager at the Fort Lee location. And to share something with you guys about networking, I think that breaking the ice is the hardest part of networking.
Thank you, Benny. Mr. Joe Yu.
What's going on, guys? My name is Joe. I've been with the company about a little over 3 years. I'm the manager at the Tenafly location. And I guess the thing that I learned most about networking is it might be awkward at first, but if you're prepared, basically if you're prepared, it's a lot easier and you get a lot done through it.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Scott Gaston.
My name is Scott Gaston. I'm the branch manager for the Westwood location. I've been with Enterprise for about 3 years now. And when you're networking, it's always important to have your pocket ammo, which I consider business cards. All right? Sorry about that.
Who wants to tweet pocket ammo? Anyone? Is that a hashtag? Hashtag pocket ammo.
You won't.
Okay, George.
How are you guys? My name is George. I'm the branch manager at office in Teaneck, New Jersey. I've been with the company for about 2 years. And, working with such a great company, they really, they really teach you a lot about networking. So there's many things that they're going to tell you about what's good about networking. To me, that stood out was stepping out of my comfort zone. You go to an event, you're having drinks, you're just sticking to that one person, just talking to them all night. If you fall yourself doing that, just tell yourself you're doing a bad job. Because you just got to step away from it and talk to people you're uncomfortable talking to, that you don't see yourself talking to. So that's my tip to you guys.
Thanks, George. Tony.
Put that mic here, Tony, I've been with the company for about 5 years. I'm an HR coordinator here, so I do most of the hiring for the part-timers and drivers in our location. I started as an intern, so the most important piece actually was networking with my recruiter, building a great relationship. So once I graduated, I was able to get the opportunity to go on full-time. So my advice would be just, use LinkedIn to your advantage. Especially, I know most of you guys do group projects, so instead of just exchanging Instagrams and Twitters, just make sure that you also exchange LinkedIn accounts and just build a connection with your peers and everybody else in general. So that's my advice.
Very good. Thanks, Tony. And finally, Shelley.
Good morning. My name is Shelley Barrett. I am the branch manager of the Wayne location. I operate one of the largest locations in northern New Jersey. I started as an intern as well, just like Tony. That was my opportunity to learn how to network and learn the business by starting ahead of everyone else by interning. One tip that I've learned is not to leave networking up to chance, meaning when you're attending a networking event, you know exactly who you want to talk to, what you want to accomplish, and what you want to learn, or what value you want to tell that person about yourself.
Great. Thank you, everybody. The Enterprise team is going to kind of be spread out throughout the auditorium so they can provide those raffle tickets for the participation. So I'm going to just ask them to spread out a little bit, and we're going to have an opportunity coming up literally with the very next slide. So if you raise your hand to volunteer to ask a question or read a slide or make a comment, they're going to come to you and they're going to give you a raffle ticket. Okay? Since the beginning of time, networking has been essential with building relationships, and it really kind of involved, to promote businesses. But at the end of the day, it's really simple. It's just building relationships. It's talking to people. It's communicating. My goal today is to take that scare tactic out of networking, because you keep hearing it over and over again. You have to network. You have to network. Get out. Go to networking events. And, we're going to talk about your fears with that, or we're going to address that. But at the end of the day, it's really just building relationships. So for the very first raffle ticket, who would like to volunteer to read this slide so I'm not talking the whole time? Yes, gentleman in the red hat.
More business decisions occur over lunch and dinner than on any other time. Yet no MBA courses are given on this.
Who's ever heard of Peter Drucker? Anyone read any of his books? He's got some great management books out there. Thank you. Got yourself a ticket? All right. Again, it's not part of any type of curriculum. It's discussed. And, I really want to kind of bring some light and structure to the whole networking piece today. Our objectives for today: who avoids networking? Be honest. I've avoided it in the past, especially as a student. Who will shy away from it? Okay. We're going to talk about why students avoid that in-person networking. I'm going to give you some strategies to not avoid it anymore and to be effective in it. Very simple do's and don'ts. You could tweet away with those, a couple slides down the road. And then finally, we need to leverage social media as well. A majority of this presentation is going to talk about that in-person piece, but I feel it's just so necessary because it's part of our, community today and how we communicate. It's part of our culture. We need to leverage the social media piece as well. Okay, so we're going to touch on all of that. I need everybody to understand that networking needs to be a mutual thing. You can't go into it just thinking, what's in it for me? Because a networking relationship needs to last. Okay, so you need to go into it with a plan, as Shelley said, and we're going to get into that a little bit further. But you need to understand that it's for mutual assistance or mutual support. This is how we decided to define networking. It's the opportunity to interact or engage in informal communication with others for mutual assistance. If you are just going in trying to see what you can get out of it, you're going to put more pressure on yourself. When you could provide assistance to somebody else, that's where that benefit is going to be there, and that's what's going to help maintain that relationship. And that's really what networking is as well. All right, so I have a question. Who feels comfortable talking about themselves to complete strangers? Raise your hands high. Good. Good for you. Very cool. I guess you're all joining us for lunch today, I hope. For those of you that didn't raise your hand, understandable. Okay? What do you think about, I'm gonna ask for a volunteer. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say network? You got to go out and network. What comes to mind?
Other people and talking with other people about your mutual interest and what you're trying to do in your business.
Very good. Get this guy a raffle ticket. Of course, you got to sit right in the middle, huh? What do you think about when I say a networking event? What do you picture? Yes.
I picture a lot of business individuals and just meeting new people.
Okay. Very good. What do you picture when you think networking event?
Job fair.
Job fair. Very good. Yes.
This is a networking event.
This is a networking event. People want these gift cards. Love it. Yes.
Where there's opportunities to meet other people that can either help you or that you can help them.
That you can help them. Thank you for finishing with that. Paid attention to the last slide. And one more. You get one more, and then you're cut off.
Alright, meetups. Meetups, see, my company, let's say, we go to meetup in New York Entrepreneurs and Startup Network.
Great.
In fact, last Saturday, we just spoke at the Empire State Building. So, that's a huge aspect of networking for our company.
That's awesome. And I'm sure there was a lot of individuals there that you didn't know before, but you wanted to get to know.
About 150.
And you wanted them to know about you, right?
Absolutely.
Great networking event. A lot of times if I say networking event, and especially I've talked about it with students, they'll say, well, I just picture this big event with a bunch of important people from business dressed in suits with name tags that I don't know, and I need to go sell myself in 20 seconds or less. Has anyone ever thought about it that way? Or was afraid that that was the only type of networking event? And I'm glad that I got the responses that I got today, because clearly that's not the only type of networking. But that could be the most intimidating. What you just explained, if anybody's doing an internship or working with a company and there's a networking event and there's a lot of important people there that you want them to know how great you are, that's where it can get a little intimidating. But I want to kind of alleviate some of those fears and give you some strategies so when you're put in that most intimidating type of networking in-person event, that you're set up for success. But as we know, it's not just that type of scenario that can help you build your network. We mentioned the career fairs, any opportunity to meet new individuals. I'm going to get into some specifics later about some of the other networking events. All right, get ready for your tickets. Students were surveyed. I utilized my LinkedIn account. I have a lot of student connections, and I asked for their responses, in addition to asking some of the responses for some of the BGS students here. Why do students avoid in-person networking? Yes. Afraid. Fear. Okay, general fear. Afraid of what?
Judgment. Maybe sometimes the first time you interact with that person, you may not say the right words to begin the conversation. So, you might get that fear of like, ooh, would that person judge me by the way that my vocabulary might be used?
Yep. That first interaction and that first impression. Okay. Yes. Can I get a ticket down here?
They never think they find the right opportunity to get that networking up.
Okay, so they avoid it because they're just not aware of the opportunities that are out there? Okay. What if you, I'm talking about you're aware that the opportunities are there, but you don't go. Why? Yes.
You're shy.
Shy. Kind of goes along with the fear piece. I want to spread the love here. Yes, Erica. The self-esteem piece. Unprepared. Great one. You see all these tickets down here, Benny? Okay, cool. Yes. Fear that you're not going to be good enough, making that good first impression. Language barrier. Very good. Yes.
Okay, I think everyone just wants to be liked and accepted. This is a normal thing we have as a characteristic. So I think people are afraid that they might not be accepted.
Okay, very good. Yes. Intimidating. This is all kind of falling into the same realm, but you're all going to get some tickets. I appreciate the feedback. Yes. Lazy. There's some honesty. Yes. Antisocial. Okay. Question before we move on. Majority of the individuals in here business majors or some sort? Raise your hand. Is business an industry or a major you should have if you're antisocial? Usually a customer or client, employee, management, gotta get through that. If that's your challenge or if that's your opportunity for improvement, I hate to use the word weakness, these are your chances to get over that. You need to dive into networking because you can't be antisocial if you're going to be in business. Okay? All right, after this, any more? And I'm cutting it off. Yes? Right. They feel they don't need it. Okay? A lot of the responses in here kind of fall under one realm, and that kind of goes back to the first response, which is that fear, that intimidation. They're worried about being accepted, that language barrier, that confidence. All that is lost when they're put in a situation to meet new people and they really just want to put that pressure on themselves to make a really good first impression. This is what I want to address today. I want to go back and I want to ask again in the audience, who are the sales students in here? Raise your hand. Raise them high. Okay, so we just have a few. The three of you cannot answer this question, or the four of you, anybody that's in sales. Someone that's not in the sales program, tell me what you think about when I say salesperson. Yes? Door-to-door sales, trying to sell you something. Yes?
You're trying to invest yourself, you're trying to represent yourself, you're trying to sell yourself.
Okay. When I say salesperson, what do you picture? Yes? Pushy. I heard the word pushy. What do you hear with sales? Cars. I'll accept that. I work for a rental car company. What do you think about sales? What's that? Commission. Okay. One more. Persistence. Do you want to really say annoying? Okay. Now I want to go back to the sales students in here. What is sales?
Well, I see it as a consulting a little bit, so it's an expert in the industry that the business is very thankful for them being there to solve their problem.
Okay. Not pushy and annoying, right?
No, absolutely not. They're more likely to happy that they're there.
Okay.
Thank God he's here.
Okay. Erica.
I don't think it's just like a car salesman or anything like that. Like the techniques and the aspects that you learn in sales will be for everything. For example, like if you're hiring someone, you're gonna want to sell a job to them. Like you're gonna make them want that job.
Right. Very good. Did you want
I was just gonna say that I've grown to learn that a salesperson is somebody who's willing to meet you halfway to help you provide a service or meet your goals.
fulfill a need? Very good way to explain it. Thank you. I want to address networking as selling. And I asked those questions of two different groups of people for a specific reason. Because there is a perception about sales out there as being annoying and pushy and car salesmen and knocking on my door trying to sell me a new energy product. Okay? But what people don't realize about sales is that it's a tremendous industry to be in, and that the sales process is truly building a relationship and filling a need. So sometimes people think of networking as selling, and they're intimidated about it because they think of that first aspect of sales. It's pushy, it's annoying. I don't want to push myself on people. I don't want to be annoying. But if you think about it in the other realm of sales, you're creating a mutual relationship. Okay? You're fulfilling a need. So I want to be very mindful of how I explain networking as selling, because some people, if they think about it that way, they're afraid that their pitch is going to be rejected and they won't do it. But if they think about sales in the other way, it's relationship building and I'm just filling a need, then it just comes down to I'm communicating with someone, I'm going to meet someone new, and we're going to have a relationship. Take the pressure off of yourself. So if you think about sales in one particular way, you're going to shy away from it. Networking is selling, but it's selling by creating that relationship and fulfilling a mutual need. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's talk about fear of rejection. That kind of goes along with what I just spoke about. If you think about it in a certain way and you put all that pressure on yourself, you're not going to do it. You're afraid your pitch is going to be denied. And it's going to happen. You may go up to someone at an event and maybe they're in a small group of people and you go to introduce yourself and it's kind of awkward and they didn't acknowledge you and now you feel embarrassed and you're just like, forget it, I'm done networking, I'm out of here. Okay? Or maybe somebody doesn't respond to a LinkedIn request or they're not following back up with you. Again, you have to remember that it is for mutual assistance. It's for mutual relationships. It can't just be what's in it for me. Yes, you need to utilize it to promote yourself, but you have to provide that mutual assistance. Lack of self-confidence. Any athletes in here? Current, former? Clearly I'm a former. Anyone else? Anybody go to a game that didn't practice? Didn't train? You missed practice all week. Now you're cold, going right into the game. What's your confidence level? Okay? Just like anything else, you have to train, you have to practice, you have to prepare. That's going to make you more confident in your abilities. You know, if you're preparing for a race or a game or a match, you know, if you put all that hard work into it, maybe you're watching tapes or maybe, you know, you're putting in extra time at the gym and, you know, you're staying after at practice, really giving it your all, that's going to build your confidence for the game. Same thing here with networking or really anything else. You need to train and practice and prepare. The more you do it, and this also goes for sales, the more you practice and the more you prepare, that's going to build your confidence. It's as simple as that. So it's going to take that one first time to maybe rip that Band-Aid off to get through that initial introduction. But after you do it a few times and you're used to kind of talking about yourself, and we'll talk about elevator speeches, you're going to gain more confidence. And I'd like to think that you can eventually become an expert at it because that's what's going to set you up for success. Okay? Ding! Done in 30 seconds. Microwave mentality. You can't expect an immediate return on investment when it comes to networking. This is a long-standing, continued thing that you must keep going and working at. So today we're going to have a lunch, and you're going to meet, you know, have the opportunity to sit with my management team, myself, Dana, and, you know, you may be looking for internships. I may not be able to offer you a job tomorrow, okay? You can't have what we call the microwave mentality about it. I'm going to get something right away. This is a work in progress. You have to maintain your relationships. I've started relationships with students as early as freshman, sophomore year. We've had LinkedIn connections. We've remained in contact with email. And then once they qualified for our internships, their junior year and senior year, or maybe when they graduated, I've recruited them on board because I have this great relationship with them. And I know that they're fantastic. I know they're professional. And these are students that I'm seeking after. Starting as early as you can to build on those long-lasting relationships is something that is necessary. You can't just have that microwave mentality. It's done and it's over with. You need to continue to invest in it, and it's going to take a while sometimes. So you have to have patience with the process. At the end of the day, I think it all kind of boiled down to you may be uncomfortable with speaking with individuals, speaking about yourself to individuals that you don't know. How do you break the ice? How do you talk about yourself? Okay? So we're going to touch on that as well. So some effective strategies. First, I want to touch on topics of interest and topics to avoid. You're at an event. Let's just kind of put ourselves in that big scenario. Let's say it's the Empire State Building with 150 executives there, and now you're there to meet with a bunch of new people. What do you talk about? Sometimes when you're at a networking event for business purposes, we just need some executives and business people need a little breathing room before we dive into numbers and dive into business. We call that jelly beaning in sales. I don't know if you guys use that term in the sales department, but it's just that, you know, I don't want to say schmoozing, but it's just talking about general things before you just dive into business. Hey, how are you? Getting to know you. So what are some safe topics and what should you talk about in that jelly beaning stage? Yes. Sports is safe. Great. Yes. Current events. Everyone has a smartphone here for the most part, I would assume. Quickly, go on to Google News. What's going on? I mean, right now you'll probably see a lot of what we're not supposed to talk about, but we'll get into that. Yes? Weather. How about all this snow lately? Oh my goodness, it was 55 degrees Sunday. Felt like summer. What else? Yes. Industry trends, relevant business trends, not exactly the business piece yet, but maybe some relevance in the industry.
Emerging technology, a lot of people I've networked with, they like talking about their phones and different types of phones they can get.
Okay, very good. What should we avoid? Hooded gentleman in the back. Politics. I looked on Google News this morning to kind of prepare for this presentation. It was all politics. I'm like, well, that's today's news. Maybe we shouldn't utilize that. Politics, stay away from it. Religion, stay away from it. Both of them are both controversial. Anything else that you shouldn't do? Yes. Nothing negative. Thank you. I didn't think that was going to come up. I appreciate it. Wow, these appetizers are just awful. Well, you may be talking to the person that picked out the menu. Okay? Look at the venue. What a dump. Did you have the parking issues that I had before? Don't complain, don't be negative, because I'm just thinking, I just don't want to be around you. You are so negative. If I ever wind up working with you, I would be miserable. Okay? So on the flip end, what should we do? What a beautiful venue. This food is fantastic. Compliment the host. Okay? So topics to avoid, topics to talk about. And again, this is in that jelly beaning stage. I'm going to make it easy for you. Play the student card while you can. Okay? You're putting yourself out there in your comfort zone. A lot of times, unfortunately, people wait until they're in their company to start this whole networking thing. Start now, play the student card. You'll get more leeway, if you will. Executives like to see that effort. Okay? Companies like to see that effort. Show up, meet new people, get out of your comfort zone, play the student card. Okay? And we'll talk about, your elevator speech and how you can kind of present yourself as a student. Ask about them. Who doesn't mind talking about themselves? Raise your hand. You're not all getting tickets, but let's just admit to it. You could ask me all about me, my career, my family. I love talking about myself. Makes me feel good. Should make you guys feel good too. Ask them about them and listen actively. Pay attention. Okay, so they went to school here. Oh, we played soccer in college. I love soccer. Maybe we could talk about the World Cup. Oh, they were involved in this organization in college. I was involved in a similar one. Okay, this was their major. Mine wasn't that, but I'd love to learn about what they learned in college and their experience, why they chose this company. Have they had any successes within the company? These are all things you could talk to my managers about. They won't be shy. They won't bite your heads off. It's just a conversation. Ask about them. Put the ball in their court. They get in good moods. This is a good thing to do at the end of an interview as well. So why did you choose that company? Why do you like this company? And listen actively to be able to respond back specifically and maintain that relationship. How do you talk about yourself? Okay? You don't have to be the president of every club on campus. Okay? It's nice if you have leadership. Yes, that's great. We love to hear about it. Maybe you work full-time while you go to school full-time. That was my case. I was involved in the marketing club as just a member. And then I was also involved in another student organization on campus. Other than that, I worked 2 jobs. I worked full-time. So I didn't have a lot of the leadership on campus to speak about, but it doesn't mean I didn't do well in school, and it wouldn't make me good at my career afterwards. Maybe that's your story too, okay? That's something to be proud of. That's a very strong work ethic, how you're balancing all of that. Any scholarships or awards, if it kind of comes up and it's topical, okay? Community outreach is huge, especially with a lot of companies. Enterprise is huge with local community outreach. We have partnerships with the American Cancer Society. We have partnerships with the United Way. We do a lot of local outreach. So a lot of other companies have these initiatives as well. If you do any of that, bring that to light. We like to see that as well. Who's ever heard of the dreaded elevator speech? Who's heard that term? Does anyone have one or brave enough to share theirs? I'll give you a roll of tickets. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I spoke too soon. What's your elevator speech? as a student, that's a good professional one, and that's the goal. Yes.
You want me to give you mine?
Yes. Get him a ticket. Go ahead.
All right, guys. First off, it's a little tough, because there's a big audience in front of me, and I'm about to give an elevator speech about myself.
Yeah, you seem so shy so far. Go ahead.
All right, so I start off by just saying my name. So my name is John Kaplan. I'm a graduating senior at William Patterson University, and I'm in the top of the country program. Top level in the country program for the professional sales major, and I also picked up a finance major along the way. I'll be graduating in a 4-year time period, which I'm very proud of. And out of the competition of being an open school, I finished second out of 127 competitors. I've competed nationally, and I have a very extensive background in all different types of industries and sales. And I realize that sales is very powerful in terms of consulting, rather than just selling something. So how can I add value to your organization? Would you like to learn a little more about myself?
Very good. Got to close it. Very good. Now, I thought that was a great example. And what he did is necessary. It was professional. He spoke about his value. This is the bones of your elevator speech. Who am I? What do I offer? What contributions do I make for your need? And you have to close it. As a result, here's my business card. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn and stay in touch because I want to learn more about the opportunities in your company. Okay? Yes? Where would we use an elevator speech? Great question. What's that? Where and when? For tickets. Uh-huh. Very good. In an elevator. Very good. Yes?
I found them very useful when coming back from the city on the subway. I mean, if you spend the whole day, I know it sounds a little funny, but if you spend the whole day just on the subway going back and forth, because I got lost once and it worked out well.
Okay.
I met about 7 people. I gave them my business card and they followed up with me. Writers, comedians, just interesting people all around.
Can't hurt to meet new people that way either. Lots of diversity there. Yes. Where else would you use your elevator speech? And that's good to branch out and meet new people randomly, but not everybody in this room may be comfortable going up to a stranger and kind of going through all this. Career fairs. Who's going to the career fair on the 12th? When you come up to the Enterprise table, boom, we want your elevator speech. First question of a lot of interviews out there, tell me about yourself. Boom, elevator speech. Okay? Have it ready to go at all times in those random subway, coffee shop, networking arenas as well. But specifically, first question of an interview at the career fair table. My name is Jen Santiago. I'm a graduating student of William Patterson University, majoring in business with a minor in sales. I'm driven, I'm competitive, I have a very extensive work ethic, which I feel would play very well into a sales environment in a company like yours. I'd love to stay in touch with you. Here's my business card. Would you mind if I sent you a LinkedIn request and stay in touch with you? Because I really like to learn about more opportunities in your company. That was about like 15 seconds. Do you want to stay in touch? Okay? Make it simple, keep it professional, and just have it prepared. Sometimes you may need to alter it depending on where you're using your elevator speech. But this is the bones of your elevator speech. Always an opportunity to use it. Okay? Okay, some easy tweets here. Let's get ready. Again, I want to simplify it. It's purposeful interaction. You're just communicating with people. You're just talking. The goal is to just build a relationship, and again, it's necessary for your career. What it's not fake. It's not selling out. If you don't sell yourself, who's gonna do it? Do you want other people trying to describe who you are? Do you want other people representing you? What is your brand? What do people think of you? You need to start representing this and networking what you want your brand to be. This way, if they do have to speak on your behalf, make sure that it's good. It's not just what you know. It's not just who you know. It's who knows what you know. I'm so glad I said that right. I had to practice that a couple times. Okay? So it's not fake, it's not selling out. You're not kissing up, and clearly it's not a waste of time. Some basic to-dos. What do we talk about? What's a good networking practice? We need to what before a networking event? Practice, plan. Yes. Were you going to say something else? No. You said practice, though? Yes. Okay. For a ticket, right over here. Yes.
I said prepare, interview, not interview, but study the people you're going to be meeting with.
Yes, very good.
You get to talk, for example, if I know your background, I would say something about your background, and naturally talk about yourself.
Very good, and that builds the confidence. If you know what you're getting yourself into, you'll be more confident talking to individuals. I'm going to bring up some more. A good trick to, who's not that good with names? It's okay, I wasn't always, but somebody told me a great trick. When you introduce yourself to someone or somebody shakes your hand and introduces themselves to you, say their name right away. Hi, my name is Jen, nice to meet you. Hi, Jen. Look at me, touch my hand, and say my name at the same time. That will physically help you. Okay? Everybody has different learning styles. You're going to combine a bunch of them together. So when you meet the team later, they're going to introduce themselves, say their name, say it right back as you're looking at them, visualizing who they are, and shaking their hand. Okay? Be sincere. Learn from experience. Going back to the handshake. Strong, solid handshake. Males and females. Okay? Don't give me the princess. Don't give me the dead fish. And on the other end of the line, don't be the Hulk either. You don't need to crack my knuckles to show me that we're going to stay in touch. Okay? Just a good, firm handshake. Practice it. Work on it. Ask for feedback on it. Hey, how's this handshake? Someone you trust. Someone you like feedback from. Yes?
How do you handle that situation where you're on the opposite end of that fish handshake? Like I've had that a lot where I'll go in stern and then I'll get that. I do that.
Try not to squeeze too hard. I've been on the receiving end of it, and it's what the impression I get is lack of confidence or lack of knowledge. Okay? Just try not to squeeze the dead fish too hard. Okay? The eye contact, listen actively, be able to give back some talking points. Use your humor appropriately, know your audience. I have a big sense of humor, and I know when to use certain types of humor appropriately. I didn't want this presentation to be boring, so I'm spicing it up a little bit, but I'm not sitting up here telling dirty jokes. Okay? Use your humor appropriately, know your audience. I want to go through these really quick. All of these are common sense. I don't feel the need to read off every single bullet, but a couple of them that I want to do reference. Who likes talking to people that do this? Finish someone's sentences. What about this? That negative Nelly thing, or just always correcting people, always having to one-up someone. If you're in a little area and you're talking to someone and maybe one of your friends is there, always trying to challenge them or one-up them, that shows your own insecurity. Okay? Just be confident in yourself and talk about yourself. Eat, drink, and talk in any combination. That could get really gross. So take small bites. Even if you're really hungry, try not to go super hungry where you're, be too tempted to eat quickly and too much. Small bites because you're going to want to talk in between. Don't sit with or be by anybody you know. That's not the purpose. You know them already. I'm going to give you advice with this for the career fair. Tell your friends, hey, listen, this is a solo act. Don't take it personal, but we're not going to be walking around the career fair together. You're going to be too pressured to just walk by the tables and just chit-chat with your friend instead of going up and networking yourself to every single company there. Okay? So don't stay by people you know. Don't complain. Don't just look for powerful people. You never know where your next job can come from. Maybe there's an individual from a company there that has a different title or an industry that you never saw yourself working in. They may know somebody that they can connect you to. Don't ever assume that everybody there is not important. Again, that's the purpose of networking, branching out, meeting new people. I hope this one's obvious. Don't drink too much. There are many company events, Enterprise has them, where there's alcohol served. And you need to be mindful that it's still a business event. Okay? You need to control yourself. This could be your one-way ticket out of there. So save, if you like to drink and party, save it with your friends. Don't take any pictures of it and post it on Facebook. Save those company events if it's appropriate. Maybe have a glass of wine or one beer or what have you. Do not go there with the intention of getting wasted. I really hope that's common sense. Okay? We touched on this already. So we spoke about other networking events. So this is a networking event. Career fairs are networking events. Community outreach. I know William Patterson also does a Relay for Life event. I don't know if you have a service learning program or any other types of community outreach. Throughout the months of March and April is really big for multiple sclerosis awareness. We are doing, what's another walk we're doing? The MS walk, March of Dimes. We're doing the Relay for Life event actually at Montclair State this year. Companies sponsor these events. There's a lot of company presence at community outreach events. This is our way to stay connected with the community. Seek them out, go there, and network. Get outside of your bubble. Go to a local chamber meeting or an industry-related conference. Google, what type of events are out there that you can really kind of broaden your horizon. Utilize your parents' friends. Okay? Make sure all your parents' friends know exactly what value you bring to the table. Family members, you never know how you can stay connected with people. And as I have a couple examples today, Shelly and Tony, they started in our company as interns. They performed well. They stayed in touch. They were professional. They had a good relationship with management, the department heads, and recruitment. They were offered full-time, and now they have great careers here with us. Utilize internships as opportunities for careers. Leverage that network. Don't look at an internship as just an internship for my resume. I need experience. Look at it for full time. Look at it as a career. Leverage that network there. It's very important. Who in here has a Facebook account? Raise your hand. Okay. Dying breed, not 100%. I know why it's a dying breed. It's people like me posting pictures of their kids. Getting annoying with it, right? Who in here has a LinkedIn account? High hands. Okay. I'm impressed. Very good. Facebook versus LinkedIn. Obviously, be mindful of your Facebook settings. Tell your friends to be mindful of what they post and tag you in. Know your security settings. Many companies don't really utilize Facebook as a recruitment tool, but sometimes we'll check on it. We may be on the fence about making a decision on a hire. We'll just do a Google search, or we'll just see what pops up on your Facebook. Be mindful of what's on your Facebook. LinkedIn. 18 to 25-year-olds, only 25% of them have active LinkedIn accounts. This should say to you one thing, opportunity. Leverage that opportunity. If you have an active LinkedIn account, great, you're part of that 25%. And guess how many professionals are on there? All the rest. There is not a recruiter out there or a hiring manager out there that is not on LinkedIn. If they're not, they are just missing the boat. Okay? This is a huge recruitment tool. With your LinkedIn account, make sure your profile is complete. Put in all your student activities. Put in all your volunteer. Don't think that because you're a student, you shouldn't have a LinkedIn account because you don't think there's enough there to put. Get a professional picture. We need to connect with a human being, not just a link or a hyperlink. Put a good professional picture, a positive picture, you're smiling, okay? It needs to say, connect with me, okay? Lots of opportunity there. You can utilize Twitter professionally. One of the individuals that I follow, it's actually ForbesWomen.com. Fantastic articles on there. Those are some of the things that I post online. I take these articles and I use them as my topics for networking events. I'll forward these articles to colleagues of mine. During the Super Bowl, there was a commercial. It It was called Goldilocks. It was about, I don't know if anybody saw it. It's about that toy for young girls coming up. Instead of just buying princess toys, now here's another opportunity for a young girl to have more of, a scientific toy. Challenges her to think, not just have princess stuff. I thought the article was really interesting. So I took it and I forwarded it to some of my colleagues in my college network, faculty, some of the career development individuals I'm in touch with. And I said, I came across this article and I thought you'd really, we've conversed about females in leadership before, and I thought you would find this article interesting. And I forwarded it to about 5 people. These are individuals that we've had conversations about females in leadership positions. And their response was fantastic. They're like, this is great, or yes, I saw that article, or yes, I saw that commercial, I was hoping you saw it too. So that's how you can utilize Twitter. Follow industry-related individuals. Same thing on LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to connect with industry-related leaders. Put yourself out there, okay? And it never hurts to, who's recently Googled themselves? Anything scary? Is everyone okay with it?
Yeah, actually, I accidentally found out that I had like 6 different Facebook accounts, 3 different MySpace accounts. So I was like,
Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I didn't. Like, I was just very.
Are they all you?
Yeah, they actually.
Okay.
it's just
Yeah.
like one has one picture, the other one has my information, the other one it's just.
Yeah.
It's all scrambled. 'Cause I kept forgetting my password. So.
Okay. It's always good to Google yourself. And you know what? Another thing you can do is Google how you can refresh how you're represented online. I think it's a program called Sweep. And this way you can make sure that your LinkedIn is first, then anything else that has, when you would Google yourself would come up afterwards. Okay, so you can clean it up. I want to talk about follow-up, keeping the door open. So after an interview, after a networking event, stay in touch. This is the whole purpose. It's maintaining the relationship, okay? Follow up with them. Again, you can email them articles or just talk about anything successful that you've done recently. Collect business cards from us today and say, hey, listen, I'm really excited. I'm doing the sales competition in the fall. I hope to see you there. Just anything that you feel would be industry related or something professional to stay in touch with, definitely want to do it. Apps. Let's talk apps. Anyone heard of Card Munch? Okay, great app. When collecting business cards, you literally just take a picture of the business card and it goes into your contacts. It's a great application to have for your smartphones. I would recommend using it. Okay, it's a good way to organize yourself. And again, stay involved. You want to just maintain that relationship. Yes?
What was that one you said, Sweep?
I think it's a program called Sweep or something Sweep. But if you just Google clean up my online presence, it'll probably pull up a couple different programs. You're welcome. So, just as a review, set goals, prepare. It's going to be less scary. Become comfortable talking about yourself. Get that elevator speech down. Use the bones of it and just work from there. Time yourself. No more than 20 seconds. You've probably heard 30. I'm going to tell you 20. Okay? Get out of your comfort zone. Once you do it once, you'll be fine. Okay? It just takes that first time to do it. And then finally, understand that it's for a mutual benefit. Give something back to that other person. Who brought their resume today? Raise your hands. Hi. All right, so we got a few resumes in for the raffle. I have seen and had my eyes on thousands of resumes. Job hazard, okay? I'm a recruiter. Got to look at them. This is what's going to knock you out of the resume raffle today. Dana and Mary Alice have been going through all the resumes today. If your resume is more than 1 page, you're out of the raffle. Got to be 1 page. You have to be searchable. The red things are going to knock you out, but I want to touch on this. Searchable. When you're uploading your resume online, you want to be found. So if you're looking for a sales job or something in business or something in marketing or accounting or finance, use industry-related terms as many times as possible in your resume. So when I do a search for a candidate for an open position, your resume is one of the ones towards the top of the list. I'm not going to page 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to start with the ones in the beginning and work my way down. Be searchable. Utilize those keywords. Any grammatical errors, you're done. Our brains work like that. It's like I have an automatic highlighter in my brain. When I look at a resume in 10 seconds, I see a grammatical error, it pops up right away. Done. It means to me, you didn't prepare, you're lazy, you didn't put enough time or effort into it. I don't want anyone working for me like that. Make sure all the content is action-oriented. So under your work experience, achieved this, surpassed this, action-oriented words. Make sure you have both a PDF and Word format, because many times you have to upload your resume somewhere, and it needs to be visible in both forms. And keep it simple. I usually use another word instead of silly, but I wanted to be nice today. Keep it simple, okay? One final chance for a raffle ticket. Who wants to read for me? Oh, you got a lot. Gentleman right in front.
Successful networkers I know, the ones receiving tons of referrals and feeling truly happy about themselves, continually put the other person's needs ahead of their own.
All right. Okay, finally, any questions? No questions from the audience. Oh, yes.
I come across a lot of salespeople who have a lot of experience in the industry, right?
Uh-huh.
And when I talk to them, I often see them make a very common mistake where just all of a sudden it becomes all about them.
Huh?
I am no longer a part of this conversation. It's a one-way street.
Okay.
Obviously, it shows me they're very confident, they have a lot of experience, they know what they're talking about, but in this conversation, in this interaction, I am completely neglected. How can I avoid it in the future when I gain a lot of sales experience and I'm able to approach anybody and just really talk about whatever it is I'm providing?
Okay.
Still engage with
Turn it around to them.
Right.
Listen actively. Take notes. Think about what they're saying and comment specifically on what they're saying. You said you work for this particular industry. I have an interest in that. You said you have that type of experience, as do I. This is where I worked when I got that experience. Actively listen and be prepared to kind of relate some way to them. If you know who's going to be there, what companies they work for, what type of position that they have, do your preparation and research and start preparing some talking points about yourself that you could bring to the table. But listen actively first. They love talking about themselves, and that's good. Be able to reference specifically what they're saying to show you're an active listener and then turn it around. Is that helpful? Get them a raffle ticket. Any other questions? Yes.
All right, so you meet a lot of people, right? And we talk to tons of individuals today. How do you keep an organized, structured list of contacts based on industry? Because I know things like Card Munch,
Uh-huh.
keep business cards. I have tons of business cards on me. How do you exactly put that into a list? How would you go about it?
Everybody's organizational style is different. I utilize, in my company, we have all of our email and calendars and scheduling is through Outlook. So I organize my contacts within Outlook that way, and that's synced to my smartphone. So that's how I organize it. But there's a lot of different types of technology out there that you can utilize within my company, and what makes sense to me and what I have the most access to on the quickest point is my Outlook account. Okay? We'll take one more question, and then I think we just have time to do the raffle and prizes. Yes?
If you don't have a business card in the elevator pitch, you go to close it, and you don't have a business card all the time.
For an interview or for... It's a good idea to get one. If you don't have one right now and you can't give one, that's okay. That's why we also asked everybody to bring their resumes. Prepare the elevator speech. That's okay. That's going to be a work in progress if you don't have it ready for today. But I would make it something on your to-do list within like the next week or so, or definitely before the career fair. Vistaprint, so cheap. Go on, create your own business cards, and just make sure it's complete with all of your contact information, your major, and your graduation date. Okay, Vistaprint's probably the most value for your money, and the most options. I can take some extra questions at the luncheon. For timing reasons, I want to be able to, because I know some students have classes and whatnot, I want to do the raffles. So everybody get their raffle tickets out, and can my team come down here with their raffle bags? We're going to put them all together. And first, I want to ask Chris, we'll start with the Twitter contest. So, Chris, who was able to promote PE Network's hashtag the most? Sarah Michael, what's the last name? All right. Michael, you're going to come see Mary Alice. You're going to get a voucher for your $200 gift card for a suit. Let's give a hand for Michael. And to Chris for tracking it. It's not easy. He's probably going blind. Okay. Next we have the resume raffle. And let's see, or Bella, would you like to choose the resume for us? These are all the qualified resumes. No grammatical errors, 1 pages. Let's see what we got.
Young Mi Lee. Young Mi Lee.
Oh, yeah, Young Mi Lee. Uh-oh. I think you have to be here to, yeah, we're going to do, you have to be here to collect. Are they all together? All right, come on up. You got a suit on. You don't need a new one. Thank you. Okay. And finally, our participation raffle. I did all the work here. I'm picking it. Okay, got to be here to win it. Ticket number 864155.
West Side.
All right, come on down. Congratulations. Let me check your ticket. We do it legit here. And for the prize winners, come on down with the team. We're going to do a quick picture. Lunch to join us is right over here in these 2 rooms. It's a free lunch. It's delicious. Come join us.